Good morning and happy Sabbath again. You know how we have been talking about Jacob all this time? Today we are going to talk mostly about Joseph. Joseph was one of his sons. Let me just tell you the memory verse first, which is found in Galatians chapter 6, verse 10. And it says, "Let us do good to all people, especially to those who belong to the family of believers." It doesn't say to only do good to the believers, but to do good to all people. And in a special way, those that are like us, we live the same message, and we believe in Jesus Christ, yes? And the whole story is super long, so I'm just trying to make it as short as possible. But if you want to read the whole story, you can go from Genesis chapter 45 all the way to chapter 50. But right now, what we are studying goes only from 45 verses 16 until chapter 47, verse 12, and then chapter 50, verses 15 to 21. Okay? Let me give you some examples of people that do good, that you know that they're always helping. Firefighters, yes, they help turn down the fires, extinguish the fires, no matter whose house it is or what city they're covering, right? They just go there and help in any way they can. Doctors, nurses, teachers, taxi, and maybe other type of transportation drivers. These are just some of the people that you know are always helping others. We could also even add here our pastors. Our pastors are always trying to help one way or another to the people that they know are in need. Mrs. White, in her book of, the book is the Adventist Home, she gives a message to the parents. And in summary, she says that parents need to teach the children to do things and to be part of the work in the home, because the children need to feel that they can do something, that they are part of the family, and they will see that they are truly helpful. So they will learn to be hardworking. You don't just scold them and tell them do this and do that and clean the house for me. No, but they have to be part of the things that goes on in the family. And they can help not only the parents, but also sometimes with the little siblings, right? They could also take care of them and teach them some things. And so they will feel the reward of doing something good for others, not only things being done for them. And for the children, I want you to try to see how you can help at home. Ask your parents, and when they ask you to do something, do it as good as you can. Sometimes you cannot do certain things, and you have to say that to your parents. But if you can, you need to try to do it as good as possible, and you will feel very satisfied, very able to do things. And as you get older, you will be able to do more things, more difficult. And so today, the story of Joseph. Well, Jacob remember he had been born the second twin from Esau. And after that, he had to leave because he did something really bad. He deceived his father, and took away the blessings from his brother Esau. And then after that, he was deceived by his father-in-law. He wanted to marry Rachel, but he was given Leah, and then he ended up marrying both. Now he had the 2 wives. He had the 12 children that between the wives they had. And they were heading back actually they went back to Canaan, and in there, Rachel had given him the last two sons, Joseph and Benjamin. And Joseph was his favorite, which made all the brothers feel really, really jealous of him. And one day they decided to do something really bad, and they ended up selling him to slave merchants that were going towards Egypt. A lot of stuff happened there. And time went by, and God helped Joseph to become the governor in Egypt. He was in charge of everything that had to do with the food. And when the famine came, when people had nothing to eat, Jacob decided to send his 10 sons to Egypt to try to find food. When they got there, they did not recognize Joseph. Perhaps he had grown stronger and bigger. Perhaps he was wearing clothing that was worn in Egypt that they did not recognize him. We don't know, but they did not recognize him. But Joseph recognized them immediately. He knew who these brothers were. They were his brothers. After that, the brothers felt very scared that Joseph was going to do something to them, but he assured them that he had forgiven them completely, and he was going to take care of not only them, but the whole family over there that he didn't even know by this time. And so let me see here. And then you could read all these details, like I told you, from chapter 42 to 50. But after that, the brothers went back to Canaan, so happy. This time they knew that Joseph had forgiven them, and he sent all kinds of gifts to the father. And they had the task to tell the father, who was now old. Jacob was an old man now. They had to tell Jacob what had happened, the truth. See, Jacob will know that he was deceived now by his own sons. Again, right? He deceived his father, and now he's being deceived again now by his sons. But they're telling him the truth now, what happened. And when Jacob learned this, he couldn't believe it. He was so excited, so happy. He immediately got everyone, all his family, everything, and they started traveling towards Egypt. Once they were getting close to Egypt, the servants spotted the family coming, and so they immediately told Joseph, "Your family is almost here." So when the servants told him that the father was coming, he immediately said, "Oh, get my chariot and take me there to receive them on the way here." And so he went there and he hugged his father. It was such a beautiful reunion. Finally, he was able to see his father. He never saw his mother because she died the time that he was away, but he got together with his father. And the time went by, and they lived in the land of Goshen. Now, when they got there, Pharaoh knew about all of this that was happening, and he was waiting to meet the family of Joseph, because Joseph, he loved Joseph. He was his number one man. So Joseph took 5 of his brothers to see Pharaoh, and he questioned them and asked them, "What is it that you were doing back home? What was your occupation?" And so they replied, "Well, we were shepherds." So I said, "Oh, good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send you to my best piece of land, which is in Goshen. And you will be able to take care of your animals. And if you want to, you can work for me and take care of my cattle." So they were happy. They had the best land to live in. They had the reunion with the brother, been forgiven, and now they had a job with the Pharaoh. And so after that, it says the Bible that he took his father to meet Pharaoh, and Pharaoh was so happy to see this man of God. He was known by a man of God, and this man of God blessed the very, very good Pharaoh. And so everything was perfect until the very end, when Jacob's life came to an end, and he died when he was 147 years old. Then the brothers got kind of worried. Said, "Oh, what if Joseph now wants to kill us or punish us? That now that our father is no longer with us." And so they sent a note to Joseph, and they said, "Our father, before he died, he said he wanted you to forgive us for the evil things we did to you." And Joseph's reply was, "You meant to harm me, but God meant it for good. He made it possible for me to help all of you." What a wonderful attitude Joseph had. He could have been really tried to hurt them, because they were really, really bad, and everything that Joseph had to go through was really, really difficult in his life. But he saw the good thing at the end. God had taken the bad things that the brother had done and made it into something good. And so this story is a beautiful story, kids. And like I said, read the Bible. Many more stories, more details, and you can find them all in your Bibles. And until next week we're going to have some other people giving you the story. So that will be interesting. I hope you all can tune in. And I'll see you next week. I'll be here, but the other young people will be here too, and will be telling you the story. Have a wonderful Sabbath and a wonderful week after that. Goodbye.